Yo, it's effective immediately. I'm DJ Hed.
What up, Hip Hop Nation? It's your favorite homegirl, Gina Views.
My guy is here.
Yeah.
Chi-Town's finest Chance, the motherfucking rapper.
Yo, my guy.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you for being here, bro.
No, thanks for having me, man.
Your first of very few stops, from what I'm told. I appreciate you for sharing your experience. Also, you just dropped music.
Yeah.
You got some more shit on the way. We got a lot to talk about. But first and foremost, I want to say that you are one of the realest niggas. I wanted to wait till we was on the air to say this, but you are one of the realest niggas I have ever worked with. And I don't know, you don't even have to go into it, but there was something that happened when we were filming Rhythm and
Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
when we were filming Rhythm and Flow. I've never told this story because it ain't mine to tell, and I'm not going to tell it. But
I'm not going to tell it either.
Okay, bet.
Tell the
unless
story.
you want me to tell it.
I do want you to tell
I
the
don't
story.
give a fuck.
I do want you to tell the story because, well, first of all,
Actually, should I tell that story?
yes, but let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
We did Rhythm and Flow together. I want to know how you became a judge on that show and like what was that process?
Yeah. Well, shout out to Jesse.
Jesse Collins Entertainment.
Jesse Collins, like black film producer, been doing it. Film and TV producer, been doing it forever since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? But like in the past few years, he's made everything black. Like the Grammys, the
Super Bowl
Oscars,
halftime.
the Super Bowl halftime. They in film and TV, like he's an important person. Everybody, his family, they're all like, they get shit done. So they asked me to be a judge on this show that had not come out yet. It was gonna be the first of its kind, a hip hop show with original content. So it's like, they're making music, they're working through challenges. And asked me to come on as an executive producer and as a judge on the show. And I, at first I was honestly kind of like, I don't want to be a judge on something. I had never did anything like that before.
Why didn't you want to be a judge?
Cause I don't like judging. I don't like judging people. So like there was a lot of things, just to be honest. Like since we on your show, like I can just be honest. A lot of those shows, they kind of they sign niggas first of all. You know what I mean? They put people in positions where they're not totally in control of their likeness and how they're perceived by the world. And that's a big part of, being an artist. Even though it's about the music, your identity is what people subscribe to, what you present.
Yeah.
And so I just always had like a thing about, television competition shows, competition shit, period, with arts. Like I didn't grow up. I did a few talent shows when I was younger, but as I got older, I went into the open mic space, which is way less of like a judgmental space. Not to sound sensitive, but it's like that's a space where niggas get to be creative and
Critiquing people's art.
Yeah, you coming up every week with new work, and then the talent shows circuit in Chicago, and I'm sure in other cities, like when you do the talent shows, it's like you trying to build a buzz off of this one song that you keep performing in these different competitions, and then you could lose to niggas that's worse than you. So I was just like I ain't like that. So so going forward throughout, I've always like, I don't know. Competition and music were not things that I always like thought about being synonymous, which is obviously not the case in the past year. But I'm just saying, like, that's how I thought of it. So I was a little bit, I didn't really want to do it at first. But then I learned more about the show. I learned that Tip and Cardi were going to do the show. We ended up changing some of the format, like the way that people win, how they get cash as opposed to getting signed. Like that was something that I brought to the show. So like I felt like it was my show by the time we agreed to do it, and like that was a great experience. And like shout out to everybody that did the show.
Something that you touched on something that stuck out. That the reason why I agreed to do it was because of the same thing. Like they assured me, like no, like the judges are fully in control. Like y'all actually decided everything. Because people was asking me like, so they really like doing some fugazi shit. I'm like, nah. Tip, Chance, and Cardi they was picking people. Like they had a lawyer on set. Making sure that everything was legal. Like it was some real shit.
Yeah.
And I had never been a part of a production that big. Like I had never hosted a show that big before, to be honest. So
you killed that shit.
It was like, thanks, but it was like one of them experiences where, and then so we're on set. There's two things I remember, and I want to give. I never really talked to Tip. I talked to Tip one time, but I want to give Tip his props. When we were filming that one of the episodes, his sister passed, and he went in the trailer and he like did his thing, mourned or whatever, literally that day, and came to set, and you could never tell he was a consummate professional. And I had never seen that in real life. I've never seen nobody operate on that level of professionalism in real life. And then the way y'all handled yourself was very like, you took it serious. And then the second thing that stood out was the moment where, I mean, you want to tell it from your perspective? I'll tell it from mine.
Well, maybe you tell it from your perspective first, and then I'll just clear up things, because I also love everybody that worked on the show, but just let me get your perspective, and then if there's anything I need.
So we're doing this. We're shooting the show. There's an artist. I won't name names. Right.
Perfect.
So there's an artist that we were filming in February. There's an artist that was supposed to, quote unquote, win, and y'all were deliberating. Something happened, and out of nowhere, I got the people in my. I have the producers in my ear, like, we're going to Chance, and I think I announced something, and then you stood up out of your chair and you said, "Fuck this." Like, this is some bullshit. Like, I don't give a fuck. It's Black History Month, and I'll be damned if we go out like this. This person is not the winner. That person should be not the winner of the show, but this person should win this round or something like that transpired. And then you had this monologue about culture and blackness, and I was just like, Chance is a realist nigga. Because, one, we're shooting a live show. Two, there's a live audience. Like, there's hundreds of people in the arena, right? It's so I'm like, Chance is the realest nigga ever. And because we were all like filming and it was like NDA'd up and lawyered up, like I couldn't like tweet Chance the realest nigga ever, but that's an internal thought that I had.
So D-Smoke wasn't supposed to win?
No, not the winner of the show. This was a certain round of the show.
So a white person was going to win?
Look, what I want to say is that I didn't say any story that happened, and I'm not confirming or denying anything. I will confirm that I am the realest nigga, and if a situation did happen like that, where we had already deliberated and decided something against, against what that outcome that they presented was, I surely would always stand up and be like, "That's not what we just talked about." That's not right. This feel like some this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I appreciate you for how you remember it. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody that I worked with on the show. That's not how it ended up being broadcast, obviously.
Correct.
And everything worked out legally on the show.
It did.
Like, we didn't go against anything from the Gaming Commission. So top tier professionalism. And yes, if that was something like that was to happen, that's exactly how I would respond to it.
If I killed her, this is what I would have did.
Yeah, I'm saying allegedly.
Oh, OJ, if I would have did it?
Yeah, if I would have did it, this is how I would have did it.
But yeah, that's something that I wanted to like share with you.
I appreciate it.
I know we talk like offline, but like I wanted to share that with you. I respected that.
I loved working on that show.
Me too.
I feel like that was the realest. The fact that something like that could happen, I feel like we were really in control, and it's like, and we really were. Everybody, it was their first time doing it. Like there had been shows about, like, you know what I'm saying, like rap competitions. There was a rap game and a lot of other shows, but like, it was so different because it's all about original content, like the battles, the songs, the music videos they created. It really pointed out the fact that like hip hop is that one all-encompassing, like, self-authored medium where it's like, if you a rapper, you probably got to know how to shoot videos. You probably got to know how to, you know what I'm saying, dress yourself. You probably got to know how to manage yourself. You probably got to know how to do all these things. Yeah. And the show took, these artists through those different things, and even to a certain extent battling. Like, Facts. You know what I'm saying? Which was something that when we were filming, I was like, I don't know if this is like a thing, but like in reality, it is. Like, so the show, like, I think it prepped a lot of kids, a lot of people that were growing up watching the show, because this is like 6 years ago now. Yeah. It prepped them to understand that stuff, and then also like it's like, I don't know, it's a good thing that happened. Like, I'm just glad that so season existed exactly how it did, how it worked out. Like, it was really beautiful experience.
I'm very proud of that show.
Did you get a chance to work with any of the contestants?
I talked to them. I haven't recorded with anybody. I think me and D-Smoke like were supposed to work on a record at one point, and I feel like I've stayed in contact with quite a few people, but especially Bo, we still talk. But like, yeah, overall, like, I just like that they were able to like create their their online imprint, like how they wanted to present themselves on the show, and then go be themselves and go like, take that and use that as momentum. Everybody that was on the show, like literally everybody that was on the show, like damn near got verified, got, you know what I'm saying, got to work with somebody famous, got to headline a show somewhere. Like they, like, I don't know. The other shows are like showcasing your vocal talent. Like you're not doing original works. You're not showing that you're a writer. You're showing that you have the talent to sing. But this show was like about
all encompassing.
You know what I'm saying? Facts. Like I love that.
How did you become the new host of Punk'd?
That was a crazy time. That was there was this thing, this app that had came out. There was this app that came out. I'm not laughing at the app. I'm laughing just like no, I'm not laughing at the app.
That was a nervous laugh.
No, I'm not laughing at the app. So basically, there was this app that came out that was supposed to have a lot of like short, what's it called? Like short content. I don't remember what it's called. Short form content. Yeah. And the whole thing was that like it stayed in your phone. This is also like 6 years ago. This is 2020, I think is when it happened. So 5 years ago. And they had bought up all this IP, all these different TV shows, and worked with all these different companies to bring back certain shows in short form content exclusively on your phone. And it was like for travel. Like or not travel, but for like when people are on their way to work or like at the gym, so you could just watch this show on your phone. And so one of the shows that they grabbed was Punk'd. I like, everybody loved Punk'd, but also I like, like if we were walking through this hallway and I got in front of y'all, I would go around the corner and I would jump out at y'all. I like, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. So I'm like, for sure, you want me to do Punk'd? You gonna give me, you know what I'm saying, some money, like for sure. And then the crazy thing that happened was that right after this app came out, the pandemic happened. So nobody was really watching stuff on their phone exclusively because people weren't traveling as much. They were more like watching stuff on the TV, and the app didn't it didn't wouldn't let you screen share to your thing. So it was like, I think like very shortly after like the shit launched, like they like sold the company, and then like, so I really don't know what happened with that Punk'd thing. Like I think it's still available, like
it's on YouTube.
On YouTube, but like I thought it was fun. I really liked it. Like
I would love to host Punk'd.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you really get a whole team of people, and it's a lot like Rhythm and Flow, where like we didn't really know what we were doing. I should stop saying that because Jesse and them knew what they was doing.
We didn't know what the fuck.
But we didn't know what we were doing. But they was letting us control it, is what I'm saying. So with Punk'd, it was the originators of the show, sans Ashton Kutcher, but like the original niggas that like to make pranks would call us, and they'd be like literally, we just had to stay here for like 2 months, and they would just find connections to celebrities and then call us at like 6 a.m. like, yo, this person is landing at this time. We gonna set up a traffic jam right here.
So it was real.
It was real. No, like niggas did not know. Like,
wait,
if you thought it was fake,
I always thought Punk was scripted.
Oh hell no.
Maybe it was when they did it. The way that we did it was like, we literally just stayed in LA because I live in Chicago. So they was like, okay, we're gonna rent you a house. You're gonna stay here. We're gonna have people. You have a whole crew. I think I had like 100 people that were between like cameramen, the stunt coordinators, like the people that were like going to get the cars, and they would all coordinate with each other to try and figure out when people were getting in town, if their management could, felt like they would be in the mood. You know what I'm saying? Because you also don't want to do it to somebody that's going to react badly on camera. Exactly. Because once we got the footage, like that's our footage, basically. So it's like in some situations, it would go crazy. I've started to just start talking about stuff, but in reality, that shit was 6 years ago. But like, that it was real, and it was really like, some people were crashing out. But like,
I have a feeling I know what you're talking about, but sorry, you doing Punk'd?
You feel like you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, I've heard a story offline of some niggas fully crashing out. Like footage never came out, like all bad.
On my show, it wasn't ever anybody. Just for the record, ain't nobody crash on me, but I have actors, so like
exactly.
There's people that are exactly. So like sometimes a motherfucker be doing something bothering you.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
In some of the scenarios, do you think you probably went too far? In any scenario, it don't have to be specific, but
what's crazy is now this is the first time I ever had to confront that idea. I think in my brain, it's like I was not inventing the pranks, first of all. So like I was not being like, oh, if we take this nigga's car and then, like I would never say nothing like that. They would just call me and be like, this is the prank that we got. This is the person. Meet us at this building, and then you gonna tell the actors what to say.
What to say. Gotcha.
And I'll tell somebody, hey, tell him like his flies unzip, and they be like, you bitch ass nigga, da da da. I'm like, whoa, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. So like to me, when shit was getting out of control, that was on the actors. That was not. That was like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the show. That's what the show was, and I was just a host.
That's hella fun.
So you was exhibit on Pimp My Ride.
Exactly. Like I don't know how to fix cars, but I got a garage of niggas, and if they put extra stuff on your car, like that's not on exhibit. That's on West Coast Customs.
Were there any pranks where you was like, all right, this one might be going too far?
You know what's funny? Like the ones that were crazy, like we had the one with Meg where she was she was like a gorilla came to the car, and that was insane because they was really scared. But I feel like the one that like I feel bad about when I look back at it, because I just saw it like on the internet again the other day, was we did Sabrina Carpenter, and like they say that like her house was rat infested. So they're like they've covered her whole house with like the pesticide stuff.
You got her house tenant?
Yeah, it's like the whole tent is over the house. There's people with like biohazard suits on walking
That's
out.
a hell of a prank.
With like fake dead stuff like coming out the crib. She was like, but she was like crying really hard. So like I ended that one quickly. I just ran out and was like, yo, nice to meet you.
Man, you should let that one cook.
The worst thing is like, I gotta be the person to go out and be like, hey, everything, everybody's lying to you. Like breaking somebody's reality, like shutting down the simulation at all times is wild. Cause that first immediate feeling when they say, oh, it's a prank, is like they look calm. And then I see something in their eyes, like this breaking of like, damn, my mama and my manager and everybody, my friends just lied to me for a whole day damn near. Like, so like I used to hate being the person that had to come out and tell niggas it's a joke, unless it was like, you know, certain things when like niggas thought they was in trouble. So like when we did set and Quavo Punk set. So like, and basically there was a car accident thing that we set up, and when that shit went left, their manager, I'm not gonna keep saying people's names, but their manager was like hyping it up, like basically saying like, set, like you did it. I said you did it. And he was finna choke the fuck out of it, bro. It was actually one of
like whoa.
I was like, yeah, like you. That's the thing. Like
I would love to see the underwriting on the insurance policies on these shows.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I know that I'm
like in the event that
like,
somebody gets beat up, like who covers that? Like you know what I'm saying?
Did you ever?
Like I'm out.
Had you ever needed to like mend any relationships after the show?
No, not really. Like I feel like in all honesty, I met a lot of people through the show. So some of the people were people I knew, like Quay and Set was something I set up. Meg, I think I don't know all of the ones that were specific to people that I knew, because also like that was a blur, it was so long ago. But I do know that like niggas forget about that. Like for the most part, I've seen everybody after the show. I think I've seen everybody after the show and been like talking about a whole bunch of other stuff that wasn't specifically
to that
them getting tricked by me.
Last thing on that, any conversation with Ashton Kutcher?
Nah, I don't think I ever met Ashton Kutcher, but I did used to love that show when I was a kid. I used to, you know.
I was one of them.
You loved it.
We don't talk about Punk'd as much as we talking about, like, not to compare him, but like 106 in Park. Like Punk'd,
different worlds.
But Punk'd is like one of them shows too, though.
It is one of them shows. It's classic because it's like a prank show with people that people care about. So you want to see how a celebrity will react to you pretending that you kill somebody or something like that. Like, so it's fun, but I feel like I gotta just like 106 in Park is like probably one of the culturally like one of the most important shows. It's like our future. It was the next generation of Soul Train to a certain extent.
Before social media though, we only had BET and MTV to like get in the lives of celebrities like Punk'd, Pimp My Ride, even though that was just exhibit. But Cribs was one of those.
Niggas used to be faking that though, right?
They was faking that shit.
So Cribs was scripted.
No,
it was,
they just written
the cribs was scripted. Like
the
house was
houses
scripted.
was a script.
The houses.
They was not they houses. That's what I'm trying to say.
The house is a script.
The house script is crazy.
You feel me? Like,
I want to talk about some of the many things that you got going on, but I got to go because we never had a chance to really chop it up. I need to go back to like coloring book. Like, I want to tell you something. Actually, I never told you. When you put out Acid Rap, I completely turned. I was like, I'm not listening to this nigga.
really?
I don't do drugs. I don't do so. I'm like, I'm completely judging the
that
book
makes sense.
by the cover, right? I'm like, I don't fuck with this nigga. I don't, because that's, to me, that was like an era where that's where we kind of started to venture over the cliff into where we are now, that type of world.
I think about that a lot.
So I'm like, I'm not fucking with it. I'm not listening to it. Then you drop Coloring Book, and I'm like, and so this white girl I used to work with at the radio station was like, you need to listen to Coloring Book. You would really like it. I'm like, I don't fuck with that nigga. She's like, wow.
That nigga do drugs.
I was like, that nigga's a drug addict, and I'm completely ignorant. I haven't pressed play on anything, right?
You know how many drugs he's done?
And I'm like, that's the nigga that put out Acid Rap. She's like, yeah, but it's fine. Like, it's not what you. I'm like, no, and when I finally listened to Coloring Book, I think there's a tweet out there, I think, where I'm apologizing to you.
What?
Because I was like, I went on the radio and I said, I don't apologize to Chance the Rapper.
A real ass nigga. I didn't even know that happened, but
I know. I just wanted to tell you that story to your face. But I'm just saying, like, there's a white woman that put me on your music in a different way. And I was like, oh, shit, this nigga really, like, it's not even close to that. It's more gospel than it is that. You know what I mean? And so I wanted to ask you, had you ever experienced that from your lens in that era of Chance? Like, did people automatically tune you out because they didn't understand it? They didn't understand you, the messaging, whatever?
I think that was something we were just talking about earlier, like how important your identity is, or like what you present as your identity in hip hop specifically. Because I feel like there's kind of like a boilerplate in other genres where it's like, but I feel like in hip hop it's all about like how many things you can relate to that we consider to be like the ethos of the culture at that time.
Yeah.
And then what are those specific things that make you stand out though? Like what are the small intricacies about your voice or about your style or about how you perform or your videos? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think I always kind of understood that there needed to be a thematic like through line in my music. So my first project 10 Day is all about getting kicked out of school, but that's not what it's all about. That's the
thesis.
It's almost not the thesis. That's like what I'm trying to think is like I could figure out what the word is, but it's a motif.
Okay.
So I present that motif as if like that's what the title of it should be. But really 10 Day is about growing up, about losing friends in Chicago. Like there's certain through lines of it that don't have anything to do with school. And the same thing goes for Acid Rap, where I use it as like the way to paint the cover, but it's not necessarily like even with Coloring Book, if there's a few gospel songs on it, but like songs like Smoke Break and even No Problems, it just has a choir sample, but it's like that song is about independence. And I think like that's like what I love to do with projects is like create a world where I have my thesis statement, but it's not overstated. I have my my certain motifs that I'm gonna use throughout, whether it be Chicago or fatherhood or my faith or whatever, and then like sow those through, but still like show that I'm one of the great writers of my time. Still show that I like certain styles of production or certain like vibes or feels when it comes to the visuals.
Yeah.
And I think like that like mixing pot of those ideas is what makes a good project for me, is when I have those different themes, but also like one overarching through line that's not overstated as like the topic of the album.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
2016 was an interesting year.
Y'all are going back in time further and further and further. I'm not trying to break the fourth wall, but like if we just recap it, we went Punk'd, then we went Coloring Book, and then we went 2016. Which, in all fairness, that is when Coloring Book came out. But I just started talking about Acid Rap, so like we going further back. But What about Tree?
No, Tree.
We get in there.
We gonna get there. We just working to it.
Yeah.
Okay, we gonna go year by year.
We don't know how many times we're gonna get to talk to you. So
That's fair. That's
what
what
we
I'm
do
feeling.
with Future
I'm like,
Legends.
damn,
We go back and then we come forward.
I'm right there with you. I hear you.
You feel me? What the fuck was up with the Christmas album?
Did you like the Christmas album?
I like anything festive from hip hop.
She like a real girl, bro. Like, not that she don't look like that, you know. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
I
you know
believe
what I'm saying?
Merry Christmas,
She
little
be all
mama.
the fuzzies and all of that shit.
That's like some of my favorite works I ever made was the Christmas projects, and like I want to continue to do that over time, like get back to that, cause like I was just saying, like a through line. I'm so glad you asked that. That was actually a great question. So like how I was just saying, like coloring book's not all about Jesus. Like you could try and tell somebody that, but when they listen to it, they're gonna be like, "It's a lot of cussing on here. He's talking about fucking. He's talking about, you know, his
2
side
Chainz is
bitches
on there.
And, yeah, I'm saying like
You know what I'm saying?
we got Jay Electronica talking about Muslim stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what's the vibe? So like in reality, there's like
Future.
themes and motifs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Future. You feel me? Like, but it's not that it's not genuine. It's not that I wasn't genuinely coming into my faith in a way stronger way at that time. It's just I'm a multifaceted person. So my projects are multifaceted, and there'll be motifs that pull things together. Mm-hmm. With the Christmas projects, me and Jeremih were making songs under this Christmas banner, but like the songs could play at any time of the year, and they all feel really good with some like, you know, references here and there, but it's way more about family, the people that passed away, like building community, like my favorite aunt, like my favorite foods, the bitches that you only see when you go back to your hometown.
Facts.
Like it's all these
Facts.
different little vibes in it that make it but it gives me the space, if I have something to ground myself in, if I could say, okay, me and Jeremiah got 14 days to make 7 tracks for a Christmas release. All right, I know it's got to be that, but how far can I stray from that? That's how my brain works. Mm-hmm. So like I'll center it in that theme, but it's like the songs will be much bigger. It's just like Tree. Like on the surface, it sounds like it's a smoking weed song, but it's got a deeper through line that attaches to the album, to Black entrepreneurship, agriculture, you know, equity when it comes to being in the weed business, changing laws so that niggas could get out for nonviolent offenses related to weed, and it's all in there in a way that you could vibe to and feels like I said, on the surface, it's a Tree song. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
Let's talk about Tree. India Arie sample.
She the greatest, y'all. Do you love India Arie?
Yeah, I love India Arie. I love that album in particular.
Acoustic Soul.
Yeah, that album is amazing. How did before we get on talk about the song, the production, how did the sample, the instrumental, how did that even come about?
It's deep. So Smino brought me that record. I know
Get
Smino
the fuck out of here.
Smino brought me that record. I know Smino for years and years and years. So, you know, like, he's from St. Louis, but he moved to Chicago to work with artists like John Doe, with Saba, with people from that I grew up with, that we all went to after school programs with, but they brought him into the city, brought him around a lot of people, and like he really blew up out of Chicago. And he'll tell you that himself. Like Chicago really built up Smino in a lot of ways, as well as St. Louis. St. Louis and Chicago is like cousins, like they're very close. Yeah. So that's been my guy for years. Like we've worked together before a couple of times, but the song is kind of old. I think it was 2022 he came by a crib I got out here, and brought his producer Groove that he works on like a lot of his music with.
Shout out to my dude Groove.
You feel me? And like Groove pulled up a few beats, and Smino was like, this one.
So y'all been did this song?
We been made this song.
How old is the Lil Wayne verse?
The Lil Wayne verse is probably like a year and a half old, maybe like 2 years old.
Damn, bro.
I'm working on a really important project. Like, if we dive into it, like, we'll be like, damn, there's a lot of gold in here. Because that Wayne verse is, like, to me, an incredible Wayne verse. But it's also, like, it does all the things. Like, Wayne, like, we can never forget how important Wayne is. And Wayne is, in a lot of ways, the Michael Jackson of our shit, man. He was a kid thrust into this life, and he been doing what he does every day for a long time. And in my story personally, my first #1 record was with Lil Wayne. My first time winning a Grammy was with Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
My first time getting a diamond record, which made me the first independent artist to get a diamond record, is because I'm featured on a song that Lil Wayne had with Khaled. I got like, I have a whole lot of respect for Wayne. So when he came to Chicago, this again, like years after me and Smino started this NDRE record, he came through the studio and just kicked it, smoked, like told hella stories, and like it was my first time hanging out with him in a while. And then he was just like, let me hear what you working on. So I played him through some tracks, and he really liked this one, jumped on it, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to keep building my album, and at the right time, I'm going to run the same play. Like, I'm going to put out my music with Wayne, because no matter what the internet will ever say, like, it's people that love Wayne.
Oh, no, it's Wayne,
people
for sure.
that will never even make an Instagram, never make a Twitter. Like, they just love Wayne. They going to be at the concert. They're going to be there when the album drops. So, like, the Wayne part came late, but that original, like, and then also Vic Mensa's on the hook. He's got uncredited vocals. He's singing backgrounds and stuff. But, like, this whole project has been a whole bunch of people just coming in and, like, adding things and finding parts that they like, or sending me samples to use, or sending me certain stuff. It's really crazy.
I remember when I first heard it, well, we did a live listen on when I was on The Bigger Picture, and I said I didn't understand the Smino hook, and now it makes sense. That Smino brought you, not the hook, but the Smino. I didn't understand the bridge. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't understand it because I'm like, well, I want Smino to.
He EP'd the record. Like, this is Smino's contribution as a whole. These are his sounds. Like, groove is his sound. So, like,
that makes a lot of sense.
You feel me?
Okay.
Like Smino and Vic and NDRE, this is all of them being like, Chance, here for your project. I get what you're trying to say. This is the best that we could put on here, and took that shit to the next level. Smino's my favorite line. One of my favorite. I got a lot of good bars on this song. Well, my favorite line is Smino says, what's he say? All the Casa Negros gone. Fuck it, get stoned. What do you think Casa Negros means? What does that directly translate to?
Intoxicated niggas.
What does Casa mean? You know
house niggas. Oh shit.
Get them up out of here. So
I went pessimistic.
It is, no, we optimistic. But the thing is, like, this whole song, this whole thing, like, the record is radical as fuck. When was the last time we heard sharecroppers on the radio? When was the last time we heard the word crackers on the radio? When was the last time we heard, like, and any of, like, just the strength in the record? To me, it's like, it's just so, like, and I've seen the way that people react to it. It's also like that strength is very akin to how NDRE moved through the industry. Like, she was very counterculture and very, like, much so, oh, I love myself. I love my hair. I love my skin. I love what I make. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's persevered, but, like, in most cases, when you are talking that shit, like, it takes the support of real fans and real people in the industry that come together and make some shit, like, you know, pop. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I feel like she's been able to do that through her talent, and even through just blessing me with letting me use this sample. Like, she don't gotta let nobody do nothing. You feel
So
me?
she approved this?
Yeah, come on now.
Okay.
Like,
what was the connection between NDRE and, I think, inspiration from your moms?
So, like, my mom is like my connection to music. Like, my father actually did play an instrument, but my dad was very, like, you know, my dad was the dad. Like, he's like a man's man. You feel me? Like, he didn't, like, play music with us and shit like that. Like, my dad used to
just punch on
I'm
you.
just joking. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, but, like, my mom,
Joe Jackson, huh?
all of my
said my
connections,
dad just used to whoop us.
you feel me? But no, my dad loves me. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, because you got a Grammy.
I don't want him to whoop me again. No, I'm just playing. No, but my mom's, like, she's like a very, like, spirited person. Like, she likes doing stuff. She likes going out. She likes, you know, music. She's a music lover. So, like, she used to have all the Tupacs on cassette tape. You feel me? Like, she introduced me to so much music, to Jill Scott and Lauryn Hill and the Fugees and, you know, Erykah Badu. Like, all this music was getting played in the car when she was taking me to school, or taking me to her job, or taking me wherever. And I really like throughout this album, you'll see like a lot of the samples is coming from a specific time with a specific genuine care for what those people did and for what their music meant, and with also new messaging that might be a little more radical or even taking it the next step that it should naturally take. And so my like the hook is really about the lessons that I learned from my mom, which is what video is about. Like the original NDRE song, she's radically like, I'm not gonna conform to how you want me to look in order to be the person that's getting the looks. Mm-hmm. And that song went crazy. That song did numbers. But she also like throughout the verses talks about the confidence instilled in herself through her mom. And my mom used to tell me, don't have shame. Like, this shit rigged, cuz. Like, this shit. And I'm sorry, I'm saying cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know where we are. But I'm just saying, like, this shit rigged.
You got that LA trauma, huh?
Yeah, let me
so I know where I'm at.
I respect.
It's all good.
But seriously, my mom, you know, was a very, like, righteously indignant person that would tell me exactly like it is.
Keep it straight.
You know what I'm saying? Keep it straight with me. Tell me the things that she saw coming in the future that, like, my mom used to say, my mom's so cool, she'll say shit like this. She'll be like, don't go out there doing no drugs. Just smoke weed. Like, that's how that's the type of my mom is. Yeah. So, like, the way that she sees the world, the way that she gives me grace, but also, like, holds me to a certain standard is, like, it's just some real shit. So, the hook is basically just saying, like, my mom used to tell me, like, you don't need to be ashamed that you smoke weed. Don't let them vilify you. Don't let them otherize it. Like, because eventually, one day, this shit going to be legal. And just like when Prohibition happened and black people couldn't have no economy anymore after it, they're going to do the same thing. Legal, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a bustling economy. Like, we not participating and we think we are. Even with all the grants and all the new niggas that you know that finally got a dispensary after waiting 10 years or whatever, like, we not really making progress. And that's symbolic of a larger thing. It goes beyond just weed. It's agriculture at large. It's business at large. And so the song is anthemic of, like, what my mom stands for. My mom started off with a hair salon. Like, she used to be her own boss. She employed hella black people in Hyde Park. And then when she got pregnant with me, she had to sell her salon. After that, she always worked jobs. And that shit was not easy. She came home, like I said, like, she had let me chill on my mom's. But, but she's a very important part of, like, the whole project and very much so throughout the, like, the through line of this song specifically.
I just finished this book called Animal Food Junk, and you keep bringing up agriculture, and it's about how America's detriment was agriculture and shit, and we didn't participate in the economy and whatnot. But you also directed the video, right, yourself?
Yeah. I'm very proud of that.
Okay, so what does that look like when you in front of the camera and behind the camera? Like, what is that?
So I am.
And then also as Wayne take direction.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up all those things. So, like, I started off doing, in the past, like, 4 years, I think I've directed 8 videos, right? Mm-hmm. And if I didn't, and my fault, within 8 videos, I either directed or was DP, meaning director of photography, so handling, you know, the focal lengths of the frames, the lighting on set, working with blocking. The gaffers, and camera blocking. Yeah. So, like, I've been learning these things since the pandemic and, like, practicing on my own videos. So all my videos look the same. If you see, like, the last, like, 5 videos I dropped, they all have that same kind of feel as Tree. But Tree is like it's like I took it to the next level. And it's 'cause, like, this is my first time having to really work with characters. So my whole idea behind it was I wanted to, you know, kind of turn on its head the video girl idea, like the past, in the same way that NDRE did with video. I didn't want to be the star of my video or have me and Smino and Wayne be stars, but more so, like, narrate it. And so my characters, me and Smino, are kind of like, we happen upon this magical, all women ran, like, dispensary, and we get welcomed in, and it turns out that they just some women in business that just want to take care of us and shit. And it even, like, leans into a space where you think it's almost a romantic relationship, but they really just showing us this business that they run. And it's all beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Women of different shades, lit perfectly. Like, I really like love the beauty of the video. Like how I see people is how I want everybody to see these people. And seeing Wayne on guitar, like seeing seeing us in these different spaces with this kind of lighting is just different. And I think on a level of like storytelling, like not only is it different working with other characters. Sorry, I'm not adding context. Like all my other videos, it don't be a lot of other characters and shit like that. Like it be me rapping in really cool settings. Like if there's a narrative to it, it still really only involves me for the most part.
Y'all on a boat.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's more like limited, and it's more about the framing and composition of the shots rather than the story itself. And in this, it's like you get presented Black women in a position of power, introducing us to this agricultural world, and then the cops attempt to thwart them for having this business. And when they come, the Black women have to present the shop as a flower shop as opposed to a weed shop. And so it's a lot being said in a short period of time. It's like a 5-minute video. Mm-hmm. But what I love is that when you do things with intentionality and with with love in mind, even the people that don't necessarily receive what is the intention at first hand, they fall in love with it. And they'll watch it again and again until they start to notice these parts of it. So I've seen people like message me or like comment stuff like, yo, I just watched the video for the 5th time and I'm just peeping like how this one thing happened.
Finding different stuff in it.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Indie Arie for a second because the video came out in 2001. Mm-hmm. And if Google is correct, me and you the same age.
Yeah.
So we were too young, really, to understand what Indie Arie was talking about. I actually didn't realize that on The Truth, she was talking about 3 different men.
I didn't know that. I just listened to The Truth yesterday.
Not even 3 different men. It was her dad, and then her love interest, and then the son. But so if you listen to each verse, when you watch a video, you can kind of get it. But if you listen to each verse, she's describing a different man.
You know, it's so deep. I literally just yesterday sat down with both my daughters and put them on to Indie Arie's music because we was at the crib. My daughters wanted to hear I was doing sequencing for my album, and they wanted to listen through it, and they keep telling me that Tree needs to be the first song. And so I'm like, I'm finna explain to y'all 50 pillars of hip hop right now in one. Like, first of all, this is what sampling is. Second of all, this is what interpolation is. Like, I just sat them down and walked them through it, and then I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna show you an example. I showed them video. They instantly fell out. Like, they were so in love with it because, there's a purity to her music and a realness of or a real confidence in her music that just the way it vibrates with you. I'm watching my daughters oh, she's so pretty. Oh, this is just like your song. She's singing about love. She's singing about this and understanding it in a simplified way that I want to also get to. As a writer, when you sometimes I love wordplay. I love the different literary devices that I could fit into my music. But sometimes it kind of creates a secrecy and kind of hides the potency of it because it's something that has to be opened. And what I really love is just if we're looking at the difference between video and The Truth, it's I love The Truth. And when I showed them the video, if you peep in the video, it is. I think it's different dudes in the video.
On what?
In Truth.
The Truth.
The Truth.
It's an old man. It's a kid, and then it's
I don't know if it's an old man and a kid. I remember the scene where they're sitting on the couch, and I feel like she wakes up with him, and then I don't know.
Well, they all a reflection of her.
Whoa.
So it's my daddy's a reflection of me. Right. The man that I date is a reflection of me, and the son that I give birth to is a reflection of me. Has there been any music that you listen to? Because right now we talking about Indie Arie, and that's so nostalgic to the early 2000s. This year marks the year of the 20th anniversary for a lot of fire-ass R&B albums. Yeah. Asking you the question about, is there any music you listen to or that music videos that you rewatched and you was just seeing it as an adult just gave you a different perspective? Ashanti's Rain on Me video is one of those where that's actually a domestic violence story.
I did not know
so
that.
There's an extended version of that, but I didn't know that until I was an adult. and I heard her talking about
no
it.
Idea.
But
No,
it's
I
like
didn't
stuff
know.
like that we rewatch as adults, and it kind of gives you a different understanding of it.
I feel like there was something that just opened up my eyes recently, but I can't remember what it was. And it was something in this category, like a song that I was like, wait, did you know this shit was about this?
Yeah.
But one album that's just raw as hell is that I feel like nobody talks about is Get Lifted. Do you remember that? Get Lifted, John Legend.
Oh, yeah.
2004, like his first album with like Ordinary People and fucking like, I don't know. That's just an album that I think about all the time, like in terms of things that build me. And this isn't like R&B, but the Common B album, I think that just celebrated its 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
Like 2004 to like 2006, like that's probably my entire like musical.
We just talked about that.
Yeah.
Like, we literally just had a whole conversation. Like that whole era.
College Dropout, late registration was in that time period. Like there's so much stuff. I think I can't remember if it's later, but I feel like an important T.I. and an important T-Pain album came out in that
Trap
time.
music.
No, it's both of them.
Yeah.
Trap music came out. Yeah, bro.
It's and T-Pain's is, what is it? Rapper turn.
Yeah, rapper turn singer. Yeah. That's a great album.
Hey, you think in another life, not another life, another universe, you were an R&B artist?
I was just thinking about that. I was
because you name a bunch of R&B and you have a lot of soul in your shit. I'm like, this nigga really want to sing for real.
What I think is like,
you could low key sang on the one with Kalani.
Rap is
on That Way.
Yeah, the rapping is like, rapping is all of everything. Like I think of hip hop as like the best recipe, and it contains everything, and it naturally has soul, and it naturally has melody, and like over time we just flipped it a million ways. Like it's the drum and the melody. So I all of my favorite rappers is singers. Andre 3000, Kanye West, Drake, Kendrick Lamar. Like all the people that I listened to when I was growing up, and to this day, they gotta have some melody. Cole, like,
they can hold a tune.
You gotta think about this. When niggas used to get on, and I'm gonna stop saying the N-word because I feel like I've said it. I think I hit my
quota.
Counter, like a little while ago. But when people,
how many niggas for the day?
I don't know. Like I'm getting too comfortable. I don't know why I'm throwing so many.
That's how it be up
N's
here.
in here. It is y'all. When I walked through, like I was like, no, but like with the artistry in hip hop is like we are always creating. Like when people used to get on, when the record industry first started, and people was like, I'm gonna start a label, I'm gonna call it Hitsville USA or whatever type of shit they was making up back then. All they would do is they would find somebody that had a vinyl press, somebody that had a studio, and then they would bring people in and they would record them. They find the best people in town, the people that got the best shows, and be like, come in and sing this song that already exists. So it's like, who's got the best vocals, who's got the best tone. And then eventually when TV got big, it's like, who looks the best, who's got the best body, who can act, who can blah 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 blah. With rap, it still has to follow those rules. You're still gonna be judged on how you look and how you dress and what your video looks like, and if you got a chain, if you got a car, and who you dating and all that shit. Everything. But the originality, like that's why they use the term in other genres. They use the term singer-songwriter, because being a singer doesn't necessarily imply that you're a creative. I'm not saying that that's actually too harsh, because vocalists that are extremely good vocalists, like, there's a creativity in how you use your voice and tone and all that shit. But I'm just saying, to write a song, to be a songwriter is a big deal. And that's what rappers do. It's like
I think crafting a song, though, is more difficult than just rapping. Like, way more difficult.
Yeah.
I think if you a rapper, you got to make songs. And I think what rap does that's raw is that we don't follow the hit songwriting formula. So, like, the hot nigga, or a better example is what's the T Grizzly joint?
First Day Out.
First Day Out. That goes against all.
You're
like,
right. You gotta play the whole record.
You gotta play that whole record because it's a hit, and it's a great song, even though it doesn't have a hook and a pre-chorus and a bridge and you know what I'm saying? Like
as a DJ, havoc on my life.
Bro, but if you cut that song off, we gonna shake this bitch.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta play this whole song.
Yeah, you gotta play the whole record. You touched on being indie and like should have signed whatever. Do you ever regret not signing or in that position?
Around tax time every year, I gotta pay quarterly because I got businesses. But it's just like That's a joke, obviously. Like,
Facts.
no,
I
I love.
You're doing well.
I
Chance.
love.
Yeah.
No, I love. But it is
Your
like
freedom.
it's a gamble. I gotta really bet on myself. So I do go broke all the time. You know what I mean? Like, and I do be up all the time.
That's
and,
what Dame Dash said.
Yeah, it's just like, when you bet on yourself, you really betting on yourself, and it really comes down to like, are my fans willing to support? Am I doing the things that's gonna make my fans want to support?
Mm-hmm.
Like, am I interacting with them? Am I constantly releasing music to them? Do I have merch that's actually like made with nice shit and not just something that I threw together? Like,
Yeah.
So it makes it a much more personal relationship, but it also like, I think it humbles me and keeps me in a position where I can live in Chicago and can feel like I could live. One of the best pieces of advice that I ever got was from Dave Chappelle. You know, he's one of my mentors. Like, everybody thinks
That's a flex.
Yeah, though, I mean, like, this, like, in real life, like, for the past, like, I think 10 years, like, you know, he was at my wedding. Like, this is somebody that's really in my life. And he, when I was going through some shit in 2019, I was salty. And he was like, look, here's what you got to do. Sometimes you got to just take your ball and go home for a second. And you got to figure out how to live within your means. You got to figure out your number, your space that you're good with, or a house that you could just live on. 'Cause, you know, Dave lives in Ohio, but he got it. It's not like,
he chooses.
It's that, like, he's throwing full-blown concerts and festivals and shit. Like, he owns a whole block out there, but like, he didn't feel like he had to move to LA. He didn't feel like he had to have multiple houses and do all of these things. So when you have your base and your thing that you're cool with, then there's no number somebody could wave in front of you. There's nothing somebody can take from you.
Fact.
That'll put you in position. So I had to learn that. And I learned that, you know, really technically late into my career, but still very young in age, where like, I feel like I'll never feel poor again. I might be broke, but I'll never feel poor. You know what I mean?
Also, speaking of which, congratulations on them arenas. Like, I want to go to that show bad, bro. And when I was like, when they first announced it, and I was like, oh, Chance is coming to LA, Chance is going there, he's doing these arenas. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm your nigga, but I'm like, he doing what? Like, yo, and speaking of the fan support, because it's only you, I think it's only like 3 of y'all that can get away with that shit independently. You, Russ, and I forgot, it was somebody else who just literally can just on your own, like, oh, I'm gonna go do this arena tour and just shut the shit down. And so I just want to say, you know, publicly, congratulations on that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
No, it comes down to like this continued fan support. So when I first started, like, what I used to do is I would stand outside of Columbia College in Chicago, downtown, and I would have CDs. And when I first started, I used to be trying to sell the CDs. And surprising, nobody wanted to buy a random CD from a random ass nigga. And so I learned to keep adding things to it. So eventually I was like, okay, they're gonna be free, but I would give them to people, and people walk off and I see them down the street on the ground and shit. So I started like putting my information on it so that people felt like they had something that they could read and contact me. Even if they tossed the CD, that's cool, I'll pick it up later and pass it out to somebody else, but they have seen the name Chance the Rapper written down somewhere. So then it became more of a flyer. And eventually what I started doing was, even though I was 18 at this point, I tell people like, hey, can you buy some cigarettes for me? Like, I don't have my ID or I'm not old enough. Start a conversation with that person, and now they know me, they're invested, and now I'm like, okay, in exchange for that, here's the CD that I worked on. Like, take it home, listen to it, let me know what you think, I'll be over here. And I created my first fan base out of like trying to get niggas to buy cigarettes for me. But those same people, like literally those actual people, be tweeting me to this day and are still buying merch because we have this personal relationship. Yeah. So the fact that there's not a middleman, the fact that there's not somebody else that's in control and deciding when I do radio tours and when I drop a single, and, you know, who could be featured on my album and what samples are going to get cleared, and, you know, my release, any of that stuff, like, it's all up to me. And that makes it harder on me, but that also makes it realer and makes me be the person that gets to decide what success looks like. You
also, you and somebody that's, you include a lot of your personal life on your music, and you said there's a through line on this new project. I don't know what that through line is.
Yeah.
You have to get to that.
Yeah. But
I do want to know, how personal are you getting on this project? And are you still performing I Love My Wife on the road?
Yeah. I haven't. So just for the record, I actually don't say I Love My Wife on that record. But it's a it's a thing where my music is like, when you're creative, your art is like your kids. So it's like
babies.
I love everything I created. Like I am exactly who I am. There's no other Chance the Rapper. So when I make a project and it talks about my family, or it talks about, my faith, or it talks about, people that I've lost or whatever, like, you got to understand, like, I'm making it for every single person that I know, as well as all the people that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And if one person out of that group, whether from the people that I do know or don't know, comes to me and says, like, hey, I love this thing, then I'm through the roof. There's nothing that can make me not love what I make other than myself. You know what I mean?
Feel you.
And so I feel like there's certain songs that I'll perform from that project that still mean exactly what they meant when it came out. Because also I don't lie. So like when it's not that I don't love my wife. I love my wife. Whether she's my ex-wife or my wife, she's still the mother of my kids.
Still got love. Yeah.
So like when I play now, a lot of the stuff is older stuff that I'm performing. But as soon as I drop this project, I mean, I have stuff also that I've released since 2019 that I performed too. But like, once I drop this project, my shows are gonna be mostly Starline. Like, that's just kind of how the cycle works. Like, I'll still perform a few songs from The Big Day. I'll perform some stuff from Arie, Coloring Book. I very rarely play stuff from 10 Day, but maybe something from there. But I also gotta, it's like when you have kids, like someday is somebody's day to go to soccer. So I gotta focus on that kid. So it's like my new project.
Soccer day.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta
You
take
a real
this
dad,
up.
bro.
You feel me? I am.
It's soccer day.
My kids is out here right now.
I got one more thing before you go. Collaborations, like, I know Starline is like, that's like the thing, but you, to me, like, you were featured on SZA shit. Like, people fuck with you. Like, it seems like you're the artist who fuck with you. Do you have any other features that, because you've been holding on to this Wayne shit for 2 years, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But are there any other things that you're featured on that might be coming down a pipeline that isn't a Chance thing?
Yeah, I'm on this Kodak Black record that's really fire.
I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, he's really rapping on that bitch.
He rapping?
I'm really rapping too, yeah.
Talking shit?
Yeah, talking shit.
I like talking shit.
It's for the ladies, but I'm talking hella shit. I say some funny shit on there.
All right.
That I hope nobody takes too serious. But it's funny. It's
You
good.
come with a lot of disclaimers.
I just don't want niggas to be offended. Damn, I'm still saying so many niggas on y'all show. But it's cool though, because like
cool.
if I was on FM radio,
Yeah, you couldn't say that.
yeah, fuck FM. Right? Am I right, y'all?
Oh, one more thing. The theater. You became an entrepreneur, business owner in Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Is that something that you plan to expand and do multiple venues?
Cities?
Okay,
We do.
bet.
Yeah, we've been talking about expanding. So yeah, we opened up the Remova Theater last December. I'm sorry, the year before last December. And we've had a whole bunch of people come in and rock. Schoolboy Q did a show.
Mm-hmm.
I think Vince Staples did a show, or at least we're working on getting Vince Staples to do a show. We have a lot of like bands and DJs, because we have the greatest lighting and sound system in the city.
Okay, talk
far.
your shit.
No, for like actually like your house package, when you go into do a show, like artists and agents know what I'm talking about. Your production budget is gonna be ass from whatever the buy is, and if you're dealing with just house lighting, you're not gonna get, you're gonna have to spend some of your own money. Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But at our venue, we have like, monitors, packs. You know what I'm saying? The best lighting system, like I said, the best audio system in the city. It's an 1,800 person venue. So it's like we throw like really, important shows, really cool underplays, and like more intimate shows for like bigger artists. But it's become like a community thing. And it's also like my office where I work out of in Chicago. So like,
Don't tell niggas that, Chance.
you gotta understand, like when I be in Chicago, it's very different. Like niggas don't play about me. Like it's nothing. It's nothing like that. Out here, I don't want to wear 3 hat. But like when I'm in Chicago, I promise to God, I'll be chilling.
All right.
Can you touch on meeting Denzel Washington?
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, that was a great moment in Black history. So basically, I went to go see Othello. Like Denzel Washington is to me the single greatest actor, right? And I know a lot about film. I don't know nearly as much about theater, but I know a little bit about theater. Most of it that I learned from watching videos of Denzel Washington talking about theater.
Doing his thing, yeah.
He's like, you know, they say like film is a director's media, but the stage, that's an actor's medium where they get to decide what happens in the show in that moment. It's no editing or lighting or anybody else in control but them. And so I'm like, I gotta see Othello. This is Denzel Washington. He's getting up there, and I love him. I've never met him before, but he's influenced me in the way I parent and the way that I do so many things. So I'm gonna go see it. So I go see the show. Needless to say, it's the craziest shit I ever seen in my life because it's Denzel Washington. But like how we sitting in this room right now, imagine me, but I'm Denzel Washington, and I'm like, da 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 da. You know how they talk in Shakespeare shit, but like that's how he was doing it. But he was making me understand Shakespeare. So, and I don't fuck with Shakespeare. Like I fuck with Shakespeare, but I don't be trying to hear that shit.
Yeah,
so,
Spark Notes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, but I'm really into this thing. It's him and Jake Gyllenhaal. And it's the story of Othello. And I don't know if y'all know the story of Othello, but it's a black dude versus everybody basically. And so at the end of the show, I'm hoping that I can meet Denzel Washington, but they tell me that he's, you know how Denzel is. Like, he's a real ass nigga, he's down to earth. He's not trying to meet nobody that he don't know. He's older. He just did a whole bunch of shows, and this is the last weekend of his show. So he's trying to get up out of there. And I'm also, a little bit hurt because I don't know if I'm going to ever see him again. But they like, Jake Gyllenhaal does want to meet you. So I'm like, this is perfect. So I go inside, back into the theater after they let everybody out. The theater's empty. And while we're walking to the stage, I see on my right a small group of my people, of us. So I'm like, I know they're not here to see the rest of the cast of Othello because them niggas is white. So I'm going to go over by these black folks. And so while I'm actually trying to walk to them, a voice says, yo, Chance the Rapper, I know that's you. And it's Chill Mitchell. Do you know who Chill Mitchell is? You got to know who Chill Mitchell is. I'm about to show you a picture of Chill Mitchell. Or maybe if y'all edit this as a video, like put a picture of him. He's one of the most legendary black actors that we have. He was in House Party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? You got him
Yeah.
up? Show him the head.
Oh, yeah.
So, he's in a wheelchair now. He calls me over. I'm coming and kicking it with him. He's like telling them this story about seeing me. Like, it's also, let me just paint the scene. These is all like older black folks. Like, they all like 70 up, it seems like. And Chill, who's probably, I would say like probably 50 maybe. And if that. And so I'm like, I know these niggas is with Denzel Washington now because they all old. So I'm like, so he's like telling them like that he had seen me at the show at Rodeo and that, I had the best show in Houston and I had the whole stadium rocking and blah, 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 blah. And out of nowhere, Denzel Washington just pops up like most regular fit I've ever seen. Like his fit was over regular.
I thought he was doing a fit
he
check.
Had on like an undercover cop hat, like a shirt.
The
with,
most
like,
regular fit ever.
Paint on it. Like he was chilling. But I'd also just seen him playing at Shakespeare, so it was just crazy. Like it felt like it was like scaling down. Like I'd only seen him behind a glass screen before that. Then I seen him like a few feet away from me, but he's still acting like he's in a movie. And now he was like a regular nigga. He was like, ah! And he jumps on Chill Mitchell. And he's like, they have some type of relationship. Like they got a strong relationship because they joking about knocking each other out. And Denzel's, I'm gonna pull you out the chair. And like they doing this whole back and forth. But I love it. Like it feels.
Brotherhood.
It feels real. It doesn't feel like, I'm not meeting Denzel on the carpet or like backstage at this thing where I have to, it's just like it feels. But also I'm an outsider. Like I don't know none of these niggas for real. So I'm just quiet while they talking and they keep going back and forth. They're getting like really intense with the threats to each other, but they joking. And out of nowhere he just turns to me and says, and who is these Negroes? It's me.
Who these niggas?
I was like,
who you with, my nigga?
And he called us Negroes. Like, you gotta know, like, that's how old Denzel Washington is. Yeah. So, like, I ain't been called a Negro in a long time. My mom was probably the last person to call me a Negro. So, I'm like, damn, I'm Chance. I'm one of your biggest fans. He's or I said, I'm Chance the Rapper. I'm one of your biggest fans. He goes, Chance the Rapper? Okay. And he turns his back around. He starts talking again. And about 10 minutes go by where I'm like, all right, like
I
at
met
this
him.
point, I met him. You know what I'm saying? So I start to get up. Right when I start to get up, the nigga grabs. I'm sorry to call him the N-word. Denzel Washington grabs me and he goes, wait. You famous? And I was like, not as famous as you, but I guess I'm a little bit famous. He said, let's go outside and see who's more famous. And I said,
What?
Nigga, you ain't said nothing but a word. And I stood up. Before I could even literally think, that was not what I wanted to say back. But I said, you ain't said nothing but a word. Which, in retrospect, that's like some 70s ass shit. I don't know why I said that. But you ain't said nothing but a word.
Brother.
Yeah, like, you motherfucking turkey. Get your goddamn hand off me. But I stood up. He stands up. And he just beelines out the theater, so I follow behind him. He also doesn't have, like, security, which was freaking me out. But it's also Denzel Washington, a real ass nigga. He might knock somebody out. You know what I'm saying? So I follow behind him. He walks out the door. There's thousands of fans. They're all screaming. They got the signs of Denzel Washington and shit. And he walks out and he waves and he calls me out. And then he puts his hands around my shoulder and he starts doing like this. And he's like, do any of y'all know this nigga? Do any of y'all know this nigga? And there's two black ladies in the front. And he was like, yes, that's Chance the Rapper. He was like, oh. And then he pulls me over to his car. And he opens up the door and he lets me stand on the thing. And if you look at, there's videos of it. He's pointing at different people and he goes, them? Nah, they don't know you. Them over there? They don't know you. But he's joking. Like, it's like a fatherly, like,
Fuck out of here.
this, but also understand it's my first time meeting this man.
Yo, that's
somebody I
wild.
love my whole life, yo.
Bro.
And but this is how they joke. This is like,
Yeah.
it's a
That's
thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, I loved it. It was, I didn't ask him for a picture. I didn't bother him anymore. I went and met Jake Gyllenhaal because he was waiting at this point. Told Jake Gyllenhaal I'm one of his biggest fans. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
Donnie
crazy.
Darko, all that shit. Like I'm listening to him off Bubble Boy and shit that he couldn't even remember. But like then Jake Gyllenhaal was like, yo, you want to meet D? I'm like, nah, I already met him. You feel me? Like I'm good. And we kicked it for a second and then we dipped. But I really like.
That's epic, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a great story.
That's epic.
It's
a
one of those
really good
things where
story.
you like in my position. When I go places, like I just went to the Met a couple months ago. Like I don't be seeing niggas like people that consider themselves that I consider to be friends. We're friends to the extent that when I see them. But like I live in Chicago, I don't travel all the time, and so I don't have like a propensity for picture taking. Like I don't be wanting to be like, oh, I'm just now seeing you again for the first time in a long time. We gotta flick up. Like that shit just feels lame and not genuine to me. So I just try and kick it with people, tell some jokes, you know what I'm saying? Like have a good time so that they can remember that the next time I see them. And I feel like that's how he operated in that moment. Like I feel like he knew I didn't want to ask for a picture. I think he knew who I was, or at least heard of me. And then he was like, this would be fun. I'm gonna fuck with this young nigga. Like, let me just see. Like, I'm gonna laugh at his ass and tell him he aight at the end. And that's exactly what he did.
That's
And
hard.
it was raw.
Have you seen the movie, the other Othello?
The
we
O
got
or Othello?
Oh,
Yeah, I've seen O. With Mekhi Phifer?
Yeah.
Yes.
All
But
right.
it was a long time ago I seen that shit.
They telling we got to go, but listen, man. Whenever you back in LA, I know
I'm
you
coming
gonna
right
be-
back up here.
Yeah, come back, bro. I know when you drop the project, you gonna come back around. So
Yeah. We do something special for the project. That'd be raw.
maybe do something with some fans or something.
Yeah.
That'd be hard.
Have you seen the Writings on the Wall thing I do?
What's that?
So I've been doing these secret shows. It got outed recently. Somebody said it. Oh, Narwhal said it. But I've been doing these secret, they're not shows, but like listening parties basically for my fans. But it's with like, I like invite you to the secret space. They have like beanbag chairs that everybody sits on. And then I present like an audio visual sensory experience. So it's like projection, crazy lighting, lasers, and like the words. You know how my words be in all my shit. So it's like the words is there. And I have a special sound system that I made with my homies where when you're sitting on these beanbags, it feels like you could feel all of the bass and all the sound effects and everything. It literally takes you somewhere. But I call it Writings on the Wall. I've been doing it for about 1.5 years secretly. I just did my first couple public ones, and now it's kind of out there. But I'm going to keep doing them after the project drops.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I feel like maybe we could do one for,
Hell
for y'all
yeah,
fans.
let's do that.
Yeah.
All right, for sure. Well, look, bro, you always welcome. Thank you for coming and rocking with me. I really appreciate you.
No, you already know. We locked in.
Yeah,
man.
bro.
Gina acted like I didn't hit her up to try and set up this interview, which is crazy.
I replied with a voice note.
What
You replied with a voice note? I ain't do that.
Thank you, bro. make sure you go check out that tree. It's multi-layered. And go listen to that. Go get that Starline when it's available.
Yeah.
And all things Chance. Chance the Rapper is here. It's effective immediately.